It's a strange thing how quickly time flies, that we're now here on the 5th anniversary of the first summer of love. How many things have changed, but ultimately how much stuff is still exactly the same way that now, well, I didn't have any plans to commemorate said anniversary, but apparently a bunch of goofy leftists, just with all of their pent-up, impotent rage, just really had to wait until after Trump and Elon reconcile so that they couldn't go ahead and push that faulty Epstein list thing that they thought maybe they got a little bit too far ahead of to really push, not realizing that, oh yeah, you might end up catching Trump on there, catching a plane ride from Florida to New York, but then at the same time, you throw how many other Democrat politicians onto the bus. Yeah, it's just so funny how you have one thing that just completely and totally just got blown out of the news cycle. So wild, right? That's why I only had like one joke on it, mostly because, yeah, we've seen Elon get into tiffs with people. Okay, somebody who we're actually going to be talking about a little bit later in this video with Asmongold, and just seen him spurg out irrationally. And we see every time that Trump has a fallout with somebody that he'd later go on and reconcile with, and how he goes totally scorched earth. As somebody who's been around the block a couple of times, I already seen that, yeah, this is exactly how those two guys, handle every situation. It's the same old crap, and yeah, now they're both, talking swell about one another, which they're wishing each other luck, mostly because we got bigger fish to fry. We have more pressing issues to bring to light. Mostly, oh yeah, look at that, Democrats doing exactly what they do the moment that the sun comes out. So yes, over this past weekend, Los Angeles has been burning. I mean, depending on where the fires are at, it could either be a detriment or it could be an improvement. But in trying to figure out what exactly was the flashpoint of these riots, I mean, it's just as obtuse as things were back in 2020. Here we are once again with a bunch of aimless idiots championing a bunch of lawless criminals. I just don't think anybody, got put into a detainment maneuver and overdosed on fentanyl. I guess they're just kind of hopping over the middleman this time around and now just outright defending the fentanyl dealers, because for as far as I can tell, I could be missing the plot on this one, but this all simply seems to stem from a bunch of freaks not wanting to have illegal immigrants tossed out of the country, not wanting to have laws on the books properly enforced. Is that what they're protesting? And you expect people on a wider scale to support you on this one because you think you're on the right side of history. Interesting tactic. We'll see how well this works out for you, but so far it has resulted in a bunch of National Guard, and now 700 Marines are going to be deployed to Los Angeles after Hegseth warned California to control the riots. That is the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. And I'm so glad that, hey, at least he's deploying Marines for the benefit of the United States and not for our greatest ally. U.S. Marine Battalion is being sent to Los Angeles to help maintain order as anti-ICE riots continue to rage across SoCal. On Sunday, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth told Marines to prepare for deployment to LA if violence continues. Well, it has. Well, depending on who you listen to, the people that are on the streets documenting all this stuff, like they were back in 2020, or the mainstream media, who is far more concerned with, oh my God, guys, there was a reporter down there talking about all the mostly peaceful protests. Yes, that rhetoric is making a 5-year comeback. A fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And oh, she got hit with a rubber bullet. I can't really get to the bottom of this. And it's like, oh yeah, she was just down there, I don't know, in the line of fire and she took one off the calf. That sucks. But it's like, okay, cool. You're in a war zone, or what has been designated a riot area, and you're not taking proper precautions. Something seems a little bit fishy on that. Okay, no, I'm not just talking about the reporter herself. On Monday, he made good on the promise, ordering 700 Marines from 29 Palms, California, to travel to Los Angeles. CNN and ABC News reported, citing sources. Oh yes. But as you can see, oh no, this is just a peaceful protest of just all of these freaks, out on break from university, because it's also about that time when high school kids are also wrapping up their semester, and all of the illegal immigrants, not like they have jobs to do, but they all still, funnily enough, have their own flags to fly in the area. That's very strange. The incoming Marines will join 300 National Guard troops already on the ground. President Trump ordered 2,000 members of California's National Guard to be ready to deploy to Los Angeles. See, that's very interesting, okay, because There are several, there's several spins that are on the go as I've been trying to catch up on this. Honestly, like, Monday morning was the first time I heard about this, mostly because I stayed off social media and was actually brushing up on my Dave Filoni and Star Wars stuff, for as strange as that seems like a segue. But yeah, I just find it very difficult to care about leftists burning down their cities, especially, 6 months ago, everybody in that neck of the woods was all up in arms about Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass not doing enough, while the Pacific Palisades were burning, while Los Angeles and Southern California were being set on fire, calling for their jobs, and now all of a sudden holding them up as heroes. Forgive me if I see a bunch of kids destroying their own toys and me not shedding a fucking tear, and instead laughing at the destruction of the once greatest cinematic IP of all time. Anyways, and incoming Marines are expected to help relieve some of the Guard members, sources familiar with the matters told CNN. On Monday, Gavin Newsom, filed a lawsuit against Trump, against the Trump administration for dispatching the National Guard to the protests, which is interesting because he can't actually, allow for a Canadian to go ahead and break down the chain of command, because apparently the governor of California can't quite figure this stuff out, but Trump can't actually activate the state level National Guard. He can only do that for the federal National Guard, okay? Because, there's a delineation of power. There's this pesky thing called the 11th Amendment where, states' rights are very much under the purview of the state governors themselves. So what exactly is Gavin Newsom suing Trump for? It doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense, but I'm glad that he did, and I'm glad that he also made the announcement on Twitter, because we have, Gavin Newsom, we're suing Donald Trump. This is a manufactured crisis. I mean, just take a look at any of the footage that's out there, but they're just mostly peaceful protests, right? He's creating fear and terror to take over a state militia and violate the U.S. Constitution. And then you got Antonio Brown, okay, who's just one of the funniest guys, one of the most talented wide receivers in history, and then he got hit on the head a couple of times too many, and then he just became like the craziest motherfucker on social media. I had sex with your wife, Gavin. Like, why would you do that? Why? You're already being called a hypocrite by everybody who can see with their own lying eyes what exactly is going on in Los Angeles, in the greater Los Angeles area. And then you allow AB to dunk on you? Like, you're a fucking clown, bro. And then to see leftists, oh my god, just leftists also go, well, if you see those maggots and those chuds out there decrying what is happening, these peaceful protests in Los Angeles, also pay attention to the way that they described January 6th. It's like, okay, do you want to make those comparisons? Do you just want to, just gloss over everything that happened in 2020? Just gloss over those deaths and the billions of dollars in destruction. Just gloss over that stuff, and then immediately go to that field trip at the Capitol where they were so kind to not burn the velvet ropes, but instead move them out the way so that the police officers can properly escort people to the Senate and to the House chambers. Forgive me if I'm not shedding enough crocodile tears for those border hopping criminals being rounded up and thrown out of the country, because these are the people that they're defending. Mass shooter who opened fire at a graduation party is just one of the migrants busted in LA ICE raids. That's who they're protesting for. Yeah, exactly. It is like this one right here, okay? Like, even if you wanted to twist and manipulate some of that Derek Chauvin footage to really, paint him as George Floyd's executioner, I can forgive some of the low information people out there for thinking that they're out there protesting for, the rights of black people and whatever other stupid crap that they were trying to push in 2020. You could kind of understand a little bit of that unrest. You could. I'm not forgiving it at all whatsoever. Don't try to paint me as some kind of fucking, hindsight 2020 pussy. Okay, that's definitely not the case. But this time around, I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I don't know, I'm voting Democrat next time around. Like, what the fuck is going on here? They don't have a leg to stand on with this one. This is just simply, we want to break laws. We want to go ahead and flood the country with a bunch of illegals, a bunch of vagabonds, a bunch of criminals, and we want you to sit idly by and do nothing? Like, that's a fucking terrible argument. You're not going to win a lot of people to your side. I don't get it. Yeah, that's who they're protesting for. It boggles the mind. Some of the illegal aliens, fucking criminals, being detained in the ICE raids that sparked Los Angeles a violent riots, are convicted criminals with rap sheets, yes, for SA, gang activity, and even murder, including a Vietnamese national convicted of carrying out a mass shooting at a high school graduation party that shocked Southern California. CCP. Oh, very interesting. 49, that's probably also who's funding these very organic, okay, and very spontaneous protests in Los Angeles and around the country as well, because there are some other, big congregations that happened over the weekend because they just woke up all of a sudden, went, oh, the check cleared, and all of the pallets of bricks started to show up, so now we're just going to protest the orange man because he's really bad. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's still the same tactics, okay? Because, hell, you could even see it, and it just looks about as organic as Donna de Errico's plastic surgery, but just how perfect the signage is once again, okay? I don't have any pictures of it, but they're easy to pull up as well. The pallets of bricks, it's just, they're running back the same shit again and again and again and again. But yes, Fan was among the dozens of illegal immigrants ICE arrested in LA over the weekend in a series of raids that prompted demonstrators to flock to the streets and demand their freedom. Fan is a killer convicted of second-degree murder. Yeah, and there you got it, another collage of upstanding citizens, but they just want a better life, guys, okay? Rolando of Versarion Enriquez has a conviction for attempted grape. Yeah, of course. No, he just misunderstood, guys, and that's why we need to blow up self-driving vehicles. That's why we need to throw bricks off of bridges onto police cars. That's why we need to commandeer highways. I mean, it's just mostly peaceful, right? Okay, but at least there's one down, I don't know the proper way to phrase this, but the only one with a brain is the guy who certifiably has a damaged one over for the Democrats, because you have Senator John Fetterman, old Frankenstein, says that the Democrats have lost the moral high ground because they refuse to condemn the LA riots. This is anarchy and true chaos. My party loses the moral high ground when you refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement. I mean, yeah, but that's fine. That's fine when you have all of mass media continuing to carry water for you by saying that they are, and I wish I was joking, continuing to parrot the peaceful protest line. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. They'll go ahead and show you stills of people just marching down the street. See, they're peaceful protests, but bro, okay, it's really hard to talk your way out of this one, because that's what's happening, for as much as they want to tell you that it's not fiery, but mostly peaceful protests. And then the people that are also, okay, out there, just trying to advocate, okay, they're the ones who are trying to do what's right by the community, okay? You got the likes of LA Scanner, some leftist hack that was out there on social media over the weekend, apparently doxing police officers. It's like, oh, that's fantastic stuff. Putting out posts like they have badge numbers, they have names, they have home addresses. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? That is targeted harassment, and hell, that is life ruination on another level that is against every terms of service that you can find on any social media. But there are several other despicable people that you can find all across Twitter, all across social media if you are so inclined. This just happens to be one of the most prominent ones. But okay, before he decided to nuke his account, that's the end part of this, but I want to issue a formal apology. I should not have posted the location of ICE raids, and I will no longer do so. I've contacted the authorities to take responsibility, and they are currently reviewing my account to determine if any laws were broken. And then you destroyed your account. But if it's found that I violated the law, I will cooperate fully and turn myself in. To those targeting my family, please, I'm begging you to stop. Nobody's doing that shit, okay? Just fucking calm yourself down for a minute. They have done nothing wrong to do this, to deserve to be dragged into this. Oh yeah, it's also like the people that are just enforcing the laws of the United States Constitution, but they're doing something wrong because they're getting rid of the people that aren't supposed to be. Okay, make that one make sense. Someone has already come to my home, pounding on my door and demanding to confront me. This has gone too far. Yeah, I doubt that happened. Okay, I think that you, basically at this point in time, I think all leftists are fucking liars, so you better provide some proof. Otherwise, I don't believe you. Okay, that's my modus operandi moving forward. When a leftist makes a claim, if they don't immediately have receipts, you're a fucking liar. To anyone I have put at rest, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. Asking for badge numbers, asking for names, asking for addresses. I never wanted to put anybody at risk. Go fuck yourself. While everybody with a working set of eyes and a functioning brain can go ahead and go, yeah, if you're actually peacefully protesting, if you want to see substantive change, this is probably not the way to do it. first and foremost, you're on a faulty premise, and then also, this is who you're defending. Okay, this is what you want to uphold: a bunch of illegal immigrants coming in, destroying a city. First and foremost, like, we're not even talking about everything in regards to the riots, okay? But Los Angeles, leading up to this stuff, it's not exactly like it was a bastion of Western civilization to begin with. But okay, cool. You want to go ahead and set your own neighborhoods on fire? You go ahead and do you. If you want this to be your lasting legacy, if this is what you want, okay, because the wildfires at the beginning of the year didn't finish the job, and now you want to go ahead and put a cap on it, you go ahead and do you. Meanwhile, the guy that's calling in the National Guard, the guy that's sending in the Marines, he's out there actually showing out, actually winning the optics battle on this one. Because it's funny, right? Because UFC held another big event, 316. 316 was in Los Angeles, California, of all places, which is wild to think about. But I didn't have the post or the video that was up. But yeah, I seen Trump and his motorcade had a big old a National Guard or Secret Service. I would imagine it would probably be big Secret Service detail, bringing him to the arena, and he was getting dabbed up by all of the winners on the weekend. Okay. There you have the new, I think, women's bantamweight champion going down and putting the belt around the president's waist. That's fantastic stuff. Kevin Holland, who won his fight over the weekend as well, going over there, dabbing up the president as well. It's interesting, right? Okay, he's sitting with, Dana White, obviously, but he's a guy who appeals to genuine badasses, okay? Because that's the thing about the UFC. I haven't watched in a long time, but I used to be a big fan, but I'm still, very respectful of the guys who, are high-level mixed martial artists. Hell, anybody who trains in general, you have my respect. Because that level of dedication and adherence and discipline, that's something that's laudable and very missing in a bunch of different disciplines in today's day and age. But it's so interesting, the appeal Trump has to these very dedicated and disciplined individuals. Meanwhile, face of the insurrection, the face of the riots, the face of societal degeneracy ends up getting championed and represented by the likes of Hasan. Hasan says that half the people at the protest he attended in Los Angeles were his fans. Yes, the protest, with all the smoke in the background. No wonder there are so many federal agents in my chat, dude. Half of the protest is Hasan Abi fans. It's so funny. I probably read it far more eloquently than he did, Then again, Hasan's firmly in the double-digit IQ club, but Hasan is continuing and using this LA event, okay, because we know that, Hasan, it's just very easy for him to actually, leave his house and go touch grass, especially with this event going on right now, because he lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Los Angeles, so it's just literally right out his front door. He's just making sure that nobody's on his front yard and that it's happening on the south central side of things. So yeah, he's just go ahead and you protest, but you keep it in your neighborhood. Don't come over here, though. That's where, I'll have guards and I'll have, proper security around my place. But if you want to go out there and protest evil ICE, you guys go do you. It's just go ahead and keep you at arm's length. But yes, using that as a means to go ahead and continue his beef with somebody who is far and away surpassed him when it comes to relevance. It's interesting just how petty and pathetic he is. But Asmongold accepts Hasan's offer to attend the LA protest. Sure, I'll go in with the National Guard to arrest everybody who's standing on the highway. Fucking based, man. There's a reason that Asmongold continues to surge past Hasan and all of those other fucking idiots languishing over there on Twitch, because he actually provides high quality reactions as opposed to Hasan just looking at it on the screen, just reading his chat and go, bro, and fucking piecing out about halfway through a video, letting his chair do the rest of the heavy lifting. But whenever he engages in one of these battle of wits, he always shows up completely and totally outmatched and outgunned. And in the case of Asmongold, cool, you want to go ahead and call him the Roach King? You want to go ahead and mock him for living in a house that was inherited by him, and instead of lavishly spending his substantive earnings, that he doesn't want to be as over the top as you guys are? There's a reason that his growth has been so organic and sustained over the past, because I've really seen him pop on when he started to react to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff. So I guess that's coming on 3 years at this point in time, why he has become, not saying that he wasn't big before, but just really took it to another level over these past 3 years. Meanwhile, everybody else in that field has either fallen off or has completely dwindled. One is authentic, the other is Cenk's nephew. But now that he's back in his home, I guess maybe this was on Monday or something, but Hasan reacting to Asmongold reacting to Hasan. It's just, this is all just so fucking silly at this point in time. But Hasan thinks that Twitch should punish Asmongold for his rhetoric surrounding the LA protests of violent riots. Is that what he wants? Okay.
You got no punishment for this. I'll probably get banned before he does.
Really, you don't say, because, okay, you're out there literally soy jacking. I mean, like, what are we doing? Okay, I guess you're trying to meme on that one. Very interesting. But my goal with the UCLA student encampments was to show how different the reality on the ground was from the way the media was framing it. The LA protests are the same. It feels chaotic from afar. The protests are your neighbors. The threat is ICE. The threat is the police. Yeah, exactly, because I see a lot of police officers down there burning down their own property. I see a lot of ICE officers out there destroying their own neighborhoods. I don't see a lot of Hasan supporters handing out a lot of very expensive masks. And I'm not talking about those, what is it, N97 masks that they have on their face right there, but there were some very expensive, very, very, like $300, $400, $500 expensive face masks that were down there. The big full shield ones, okay? As somebody who used to sell some of those, I know the price tags on those, and brother, they ain't cheap. No, guys. They're all your friends. They're all your family members. They're all your neighbors. And that's why you should allow them to burn down and destroy your neighborhoods, because Hasan said so. And he's the moral authority, the same guy that cheered on 9/11 attacks and praised terrorists on his Twitch stream. But Asmongold's the guy who's going to get banned for accurately assessing the LA riots. Good stuff, Twitch. Never change. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and I should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.